want to happen at all. Welcome, everybody.
What happened? What I missed?
I have no idea what happened. It just stopped. Why do we do these things? And my virtual background stopped working too. So welcome to my office, which is the guest room. You got the pillows from when my grandmother was here this weekend, in my closet, which is a bookshelf. This is professional hour.
I feel lied to. I thought you were always sitting in front of a white brick wall, and now I'm finding out that's not the case at all. And
well,
I feel offended. I feel deeply betrayed. But I suppose we will get through this.
Okay. Well, hello, triathlon enthusiasts, and welcome to another exciting episode of T3. I'm your host, Zach Hunsinger, and I'm joined with my esteemed but seemingly betrayed co-host, Carrie Ritter. And today we're taking you on a journey that's close to the hearts of triathletes everywhere. Travel tips for the ultimate triathlon experience. Triathlon isn't just about the race, it's about the adventure, and that often means traveling to incredible destinations to compete. Whether you're a seasoned triathlete or just starting out, the logistics of traveling with your gear, preparing for different race conditions, and staying on top of your training can be a challenge. In this episode, though, we've got you covered. We'll be sharing expert travel tips to ensure that your next triathlon journey is smooth, stress-free, and a whole lot of fun. From packing hacks to acclimating to new environments, we got the advice you need. So grab your passport, your bike case too, and a notebook. That's where the book, because by the end of this episode, you'll be all set for your next triathlon adventure. And if we had a sponsor, here's what I'd say: a quick word from our sponsor. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you be our sponsor, as long as you're ethically sound. Industry, maybe. All right. Carrie can be bought.
My ethics are, like we said last time, ethics are easily bought and sold for me.
Oh man, I'm a little frustrated with my. You know what makes me mad is after last lesson, I said, okay, I'm not going to use the virtual screen anymore. It looks like crap. I said I'm going to bring in my green screen and use the proper tech. And I did not, and look, I got burned. So I knew what I needed to do, and then it didn't work out. So such is life. But all right, Carrie, you were trying to tell me about something really cool that isn't travel related before we got started, and I yelled at you to stop. I had to go to the bathroom. But what's up?
Big Dog's Backyard Ultra. Are you familiar?
I don't have any idea what that is.
So these Backyard Ultras, and I've done one that they used to do in Edwardsville, but they stopped. The idea is you go until everyone stops. Like, you keep running loops until the last person gives up. So
okay. I do know the concept.
Yeah, so typically it's about 4 miles, and you have an hour to complete the loop, and you start again the next top of the hour.
An hour to do 4 miles?
Yeah, continuously until you fall over. The 2023 winner is Harvey Lewis, who's fairly well renowned in the ultra running community, with a new world record of 108 loops.
432 miles.
That's too quick a math, but yeah, somewhere around there. 4.5 days of running.
4.5 days. Wow.
So
let's see. It was 108. Times 432. I was right, and you said 4.5 days. So that's.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 4 miles on the dot. This title says 450 miles of running over 108 hours. So it's like 4.2 miles, something slightly 4-ish. But yeah.
What do you do? You camp out next to it or something?
Yeah, I think they typically have these. It depends on the setup, but I think they have a pretty big setup of you bring out tents like you'd see at triathlon of clubs, and you set up camp, and during the 20 minutes of rest you get per loop at best, you I don't know what they do. I don't know if they go to sleep for 15 minutes at a time, or they just I don't know. The whole thing is baffling what you're talking about multiple days in a row, like 4.5 days. I don't even understand how you play that game.
It's a dog's backyard.
Big Dog's Backyard Ultra.
There you go. Let's see.
By the way, if you are interested, they're doing the Survive the Night Ultra Run at Wildcats Paintball this weekend. Plugging for the Metro Tri Club.
Survive the night. What?
Survive the Night Ultra. And say Wildcats with a Z. With his, I think it's a C, but there it is. Not. They don't have like a proper website, so.
Well, I feel let down by that plug. So why is my screen going wild? My computer is just mad at me today. I'd like to zoom in and read this stupid website.
So it's run by the same guy who runs the Barclay marathons.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Lazarus Lake.
Where does it say that? I don't see his name.
Right on the screen underneath the word race.
Oh my God.
Dead giveaway.
You're right. It's because it's a stupid website. I can't. It's constantly moving, and I have to make it 400% to read. You're right. It is Lazarus. Okay. It is in Tennessee. So, all right. Yeah, right. That was the first thought I had was, this sounds worse than the Barclays.
I think the benefit is, it's not orienteering mixed with ultra running. It's running during the day, it's a trail loop, and then during the night, it's a road loop. And so in that way, it's a bit different. But I don't know. I don't know how they did 108 loops. It blows my mind.
Short Creek, Tennessee. Helps if I spelled it right, I suppose. 10 best things to do. Huh. Interesting. All right, so are you doing this? Is that why you've been tracking it? You're going to do it next year?
Oh, no. God, no. I don't know how you get in. I'm not sure how that works, but
I bet you click the registration button.
I didn't think it would be I didn't think it would be open registration.
Because of the Barclays?
Yeah, just like in general. Like it's the heavy hitters of the ultra world. So
I mean, you can't sign up for it, but it as you said, it just happened, so yeah. Perhaps that's why. He's 45.
That was 2 years ago. Last year they set a new world record, I thought. And then this year
this is from 21. And then 20. I see. So he did good. He's been doing good, and then 22 was missed, and 23 he did really, really good.
He's a madman. I think he's like a teacher.
Huh. Well, you know what they say about teachers.
They're really good ultra runners.
No, I have no idea. I don't know what they say about teachers. All right. What's your travel tips, man? You came up with the topic, and
I said you're carrying this conversation because I'm the resident non-traveler.
Well, it is kind of timely as far as traveling goes, since I am going to Arizona here in less than a month now, leaving in a few weeks. So, and I guess I just got back from France. I laughed when I read the intro here about being stress-free. I don't think there's ever an opportunity to travel stress-free, but maybe that will change this time, since it will be my second time flying with my bike. I just am like, I can't, the anxiety is so huge of my bicycle getting destroyed at some point.
So when I went to Florida, I did tri-bike transport, and that I think it was $300, $400, something like that. So it's not affordable, but it was nice. All you have to do is take your pedals off, and they bring the whole bike out there for you. When you're done with the race, you leave it in transition, I think, and they take it away. Or no, you don't leave it in transition. You take it to their little transition area, and they ship it right back.
Well, how do you? So I tried doing that for France, and they weren't picking it up, and for St. Louis.
I think mostly it's stateside. It depends. So when I did it, they went to Big Shark, and that was one of their pickup
Right.
spots. But they have to have enough people from the shops, I think, to quantify or to make it worthwhile for them to do it from that shop. And maybe there's just not as many St. Louis people going to Nice this past year.
Well, there were only like 2 people from Missouri that went to France, I think. So that's probably true. Then not enough people from St. Louis to make it worthwhile.
Yep. But they did it from St. Louis to Florida, but there was a good chunk of people. So it's nice because there's just zero stress involved in that, but you do have to pay, it's not nothing. But
so benefit, zero stress, pick up at transition area and drop off at convenient location.
And when I got sick and I couldn't make it back to the race location, they were nice enough to let me call them, and they went and grabbed my bike and helped me out there.
Well,
which is phenomenal.
I assume you just, to send it back, you would leave it there. Why would they even need to?
So after the race, you take it from transition to their transition area so they can put it all up together. Like I literally could not get back to the race venue to bring it to them. And so I just called them and said, hey, if there's any way you can help me. I can't walk. And they found the bike and loaded it up and shipped it back. So great customer service.
All right. Good customer service. I hate that you had to take the pedals off, though.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal, especially since my the crank arm on one of mine was messed up and the threading was risky. But
that's exactly what I was thinking. Like mine are like locked in there now because they've been on for so long.
Yeah, but given it's either that or you take the whole bike apart to put it in a bike case,
Wrong.
Yeah,
so that's my tip is purchase I think it's this Ion Tri bike bag. Let's see if I can find it quick enough. But it's like $500 or $600 itself, and then you still have to pay for the flight baggage fee, which for me was like $75 one way. Let's see if I can find it because I'm about to buy it. Believe it or not.
And you don't have to take the bike apart.
Exactly. Yeah.
What?
So I used it for my coach had let me use his when I went to France, and I didn't take anything apart. Didn't take the aero bars off. Didn't take the pedal off. It all fits in there.
That's intriguing.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you had to take the wheels off, and
I can live with that.
Yeah, and it came in one piece. Make sure you take the derailleur off, unhitch it, but I think you do that no matter what. That actually was a huge pain for me getting the derailleur back on. Now that I think about it, because it looked really weird when I was trying to put the derailleur on, and it took me like half an hour. I mean, also like it was the time change and a 15-hour commute and I was like tired, but I was just so anxious to get the wheels on and get it set up to make sure it's okay. But yeah, so I'm going to be buying that and then paying the baggage fee, $75-ish one way. So I guess that almost pays for itself.
That pays off pretty quick.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Because I was thinking like maybe I should just do the transport thing, but I don't like the idea of having to take off my pedals. But it also has so maybe a little more cost effective, but stress of dealing with it getting banged up.
Yeah, that's what freaks me out. Is like we've had people on our club show up and their like derailleur is just destroyed, or like their wheels, all the spokes got wrecked. Like there's so much that can go wrong in that process that it freaks me out. So Tri-Bike is great to do that whole deal. And they actually took a duffel along with it. It's like all my tri gear.
That's cool.
Was with them, and that was nice.
Yeah, I did when I the bag and the bike can't weigh more than like 50 pounds or whatever. So you're already kind of at that point. And I had put in just like an extra stuff sack of some clothes. And when I was leaving from St. Louis, the bag was too heavy. So I had to take that stuff sack out. But then when I was coming back, the bike bag didn't fit on the scale. It was too big to fit on the scale. And they're like, well, how much does it weigh? And I said, 75 kilos, whatever. Wait, 30 kilos. It goes the other way. Whatever the kilo was for not having to pay extra. So I did have my shoes and my helmet and stuff in there. But my coach said not to put my shoes or my helmet in the bike bag, in case the bike gets lost and I can still rent a bike. Yeah. But then I have my shoes and my helmet, and to take those on my carry-on. And I really, really hated having a helmet in my carry-on backpack. That was just incredibly inconvenient. So I think next time I'm going to take my shoes in my carry-on, but not the helmet. Because you can buy a new helmet. Yeah. And your shoes, though, you do kind of have to get them fitted, and that'd be tough. So we'll call this tips for flying.
How do all the extra symbols not drive you crazy?
Do what?
All these the paragraph symbols and the space symbols and all that stuff.
Oh, sorry, that's why I don't even see them. I find it very helpful to know what's going on. Sorry, I'll turn that off. Oh, it's weird looking. I don't even, what was I say? Put helmet and shoes and carry on. That's kind of your tip for that. Also, you need to you can't fly with, so remove any CO2 canisters. Which I like, for some reason I thought that would be okay because it's in a self-contained, like it's protected and it wouldn't be a big deal. But apparently that's the exact opposite because it is protected and the pressure goes down so much it will explode. So don't have your CO2 canisters.
Good to know.
All right, so let's say you travel with I guess this implies there's a flight. If you're driving, then it's a little easier. I used have a bike rack that goes into like the hitch. But if I was to do that again, I guess I'm just assuming people realize this, but they probably don't. Everything with a tri-bike has to be different. That's just all there is to it. So it have different bike bag, it have different bike hitch, and my old trailer hitch, where you just kind of like, it has the things that stick out, and then you put your bikes on it, and they kind of hang out and then flop around, and I would have to like put zip ties to keep them from flopping around because I'd be traveling down the interstate past a semi, and the wind would take the bike from being how it should be, perpendicular with the ground, to up to horizontal, flying along behind me. And I'm sure everybody, especially the truck drivers, were like, that thing's going to come flying off. That was my gravel bike. So I bought a different hitch that you set the bikes down, and then this thing is in the middle, and it has little hooks, and it comes down and holds it based off of the frame. And I would not buy the frame one. And so maybe this would work with any road bike too. I get the ones that hook onto the wheels. Although they're more expensive, I think that's a lot better, because I did crack my frame using, which everyone said would happen, don't use it for a carbon frame. And it makes sense. You got something keeping it safe. I cracked it. Actually, my daughter did, not me, but I would use the wheel holder. It's cheaper in the long run to buy that than the middle rim frame holder and pay a guy to fix your carbon frame. So I would do that.
See, Christina likes to make fun of me because we have like a bike hitch mount, and I just won't use it for myself ever.
What? How do you travel with your bike?
I shove it in the back of the Prius. I take one wheel off, and it fits right in the back. Throw my duffel on top of it, and that's the end of the show.
So you're traveling without more than 2 people. It's you and maybe her,
Yep.
not even her.
So we just take the Prius and shove the bike and all my stuff in the back, and then we're in the front 2 seats. And if we're usually not going away for many days, so our clothes are usually in a small suitcase, and we got plenty of room. And
Well, all right, fine. That's special. Good for you. If it's just me, or I suppose one other person, our car is wide enough that I can put the whole bike in through the second row.
oh, that's nice.
And I don't have to take any tires off. That's how wide that beast is. And I do that every time I go to Big Shark to drop it off for work, for maintenance or whatever, because I hate hooking up that hitch. It's also a pain, the hitch, because it sets off every single backup alarm, and our car will auto brake if it thinks you're about to hit something. So it's like impossible to have it hitched with the alarms on or the sensors on, because one, they're just blaring. It's annoying, but then also like it's scary when it does it. It jerks you when you do that. So if you have kids and you're traveling as a family, you can't do what you just described. So another reason kids are expensive, you have to buy a hitch.
They don't tell you kids are going to make your race days so much more painful. So,
I don't know about that. The more painful my wife deals with it, I don't. All right. So logistics of traveling with your gear, the primary one, getting your bike there. That's the hardest one. It's so much easier just to deal with shoes and your running gear or whatever. It's not that different than packing for a typical event anyways. Okay. So any other tips for flying or travel to a destination?
I guess I'm more questioning. Wetsuits were kind of a pain, especially coming back, trying to get it to be fully dry, and then so you can actually pack it somewhere instead of weighing an extra 35 pounds because it's soaked. So I don't really
I think the better question, I'll answer your question with the question. Why is it so wet?
Usually with wetsuits, you get in the water with them, and it tends to take on some of that water on occasion. And then I usually drive home immediately after the race.
Oh, okay. I'm fair enough. Fine. I'll give you that. I thought you meant like flying back with it. I mean, whatever. It's wet. It's in your car. Who cares? Put it in a plastic bag.
Yeah, just getting it sorted out. Like at the end of the race, nothing fits back in my duffel the way it did before the race.
No, it doesn't.
And it's always the wetsuits that is the biggest pain.
Yeah.
And
all right, well that's funny. All right, so two things then for that. That's not even travel. That's just race. All right, so fine. Have an extra plastic bag if you're gonna complain about it being wet. My tri bag,
which I will.
My tri bag has a wetsuit pocket, zippered pocket. So I just stick it in there, and then that keeps everything dry. So I've never had to worry about that sort of problem. I thought you were saying like fly, like I just hang my wetsuit up in the bathroom and then it dries by the next day, and then I can fly out with it that way. All right. So the other thing I want to say, as far as plastic bags go, always have an extra plastic bag, trash bag, or grocery bag, if not 2, and then always have extra toilet paper, because there's a high likelihood that you will need to poop in the parking lot, and you'll need to have a way of disposing of at least the toilet paper.
I've not had that problem.
Well, it's happened to me so many times. The line is always so long in the morning.
Okay, so that's the other problem. That's the other thing. I'm racing local races where the bathroom lines don't get so bad. And anyways, you just walk into the water and just poop in the water. It's easy.
No,
you don't have to worry about toilet paper.
You're lying. All right, so you like sarcasm, and I'm calling BS on that one. I think you've never pooped.
No, before every race, I walk into that body of water in front of everyone
and pull your pants down.
I take a dump right in the water before everyone gets in. It's a show of dominance, and that's
the second time you have a misinformed idea of what dominance might be, because you also told me to go to the bathroom during my meetings as a sign of dominance.
Yeah, the way you excrete body fluids is the main way that alphas, put themselves amongst the top tier in their society.
There's too many inappropriate things. This is a family episode, so you need to have toilet paper and a plastic bag and be ready to roll, either before or after the race. Because I definitely have dumped.
I do bring a trash bag to every race. I still don't know why. Christina asked me once why I bring the trash bag inside of my duffel bag, and I said, I don't know. I just do. Someday.
You might have to poop. What about preparing for different race conditions? What are your tips for that?
I don't know. So the first one I did was in April, and it was freezing cold. And I brought like winter cycling gear. Like I had a fleece kit, and that came in so handy. My transition time, like this is my first triathlon, so I did not care about anything. But switching out into the winter cycling kit like saved me, because it was my brother did not do the same thing, and he couldn't feel his legs.
Where was this at?
It was Tennessee. Can't remember the name.
Lazarus Lake.
Lenoir City, Tennessee.
Huh. And, that was your first triathlon?
It was. I don't know why. My brother and I were like, we were trying to find the first triathlon we could find. So I got into triathlon. And I just didn't really know anything. Yeah. I'm like, I guess there's one like 5 hours away. So let's just go do that. And then we got home and like, there's like 16 more of them within 20 minutes of us.
Yeah. That's funny. That's fine. I was just thinking about how kind of strange the tri season is, because I have a race in November, and this is the deepest, longest I've gone into the race season, and it's probably like one of the last of the year. I don't know if that's true or not, but certainly the local races they're done, and it's actually really tough to keep training right now. Like I want to be enjoying the workouts again that are shorter, enjoy the fall weather. But then I was like, my season now goes to basically December, and then the first races are in April. So you're going to start training for those probably like in February or January. I was like, so what? I get 1 month off here? Like, how does this is, untenable. I'm not pleased with this sort of training schedule, but
I don't understand. Taking time off? What does that mean?
Yeah, there you go. All right. So you never take time off.
I got a cycle. So, and I can't say it's a cycle. It's the second year I'm doing it, but like June to October, I learned is about when I get sick of triathlon. And I want to do something different. Like I did the December race, and I got kind of just tired of triathlon towards the last, during November. And I'm like, I just want to get this race done and do something different. So now I'm stopping in the first week of October, and then October to like January. This year I'm doing ultra running and trail running. And then I'll probably switch over to gravel cycling from January to June. Last year I did the opposite. And so all my cycling races were freezing cold. Yeah. And that was kind of not as fun. And now I get to do the running in the freezing cold when it's a little more enjoyable. And then
we're at our time, which sucks because there's 1,000 things I wanted to add, and usually I'd be fine going long, but I do have to get to my next call. So we're doing really good at like half covering what we say we will.
We get halfway there and then we lose interest.
Yes. I wonder if that's a metaphor for our life, which, I don't, it's probably not, because I do think that the ability to sort of compartmentalize and think through or focus on the task at hand is incredibly useful for all aspects of life. And I think that's certainly the case for like you're in the swim. If you start thinking about that bike while you're swimming, you're probably not going to finish the race at all. You might drop out right then because it's just so overwhelming. But if you're able to say, no, I'm going to focus on this and then do whatever, I need to go. I'm sorry. So
we're doing it again.
What is keep thriving? What's our exit phrase? I don't remember. So until next time,
we
safe
missed our
travels.
shot for
Until next time, safe travels, keep training, and keep thriving.
We'll work on it.